Old School RuneScape has come a long way since its release, and while it is still a great game, some people wishes they could go back to the golden days. Well, what if I tell you that going back may be possible? Follow me on my journey as I play an ironman account that cannot interact with any updates that came out after the release of Old School RuneScape, meaning that I will be playing the game as it was in 2007. And that with two goals in mind: maxing the account and getting ready for Old School RuneScape's final update, the God War Dungeon, in October 2024. Here is O7 Iron, an Iron Man account that will be playing Old School RuneScape as it was initially released over 10 years ago, meaning I will not be interacting with any content that was not in the 2007 backup. So here, as you see, there's already one thing wrong and it's the interface. Let me fix that. Okay, so that's a lot better. As you see, in 2007 there was no resizable option, so I need to play in fix. I cannot see the XP until the next level, and also I do not have any orbs or any XP tracker. So this is as old school as I can get for the interface. Now let's go to the bank because I believe there's a few things I need to change there also. Okay, so this does not look like a bank from 2007. Let me get this fixed. Okay, so I believe this is the most 2007 I can get. I know there's a few options here that was not in the game in 2007, but it doesn't seem like I'm able to remove those. I was able to remove the top row. There was no tabs back then. So this is how the bank is going to be looking like. I'm just going to take a quick moment here to go over the rule of this new series. So basically I want to play the game as it was in 2007. So when it was re-released in 2013, there has been many great updates since then, but I do not want to touch most of those updates if possible. So I don't want to go and kill any NPCs that were not released back then. I don't want to use any armor weapon that were not released. I'm not going to visit any place on the map, such as Zaya, that did not exist. I'm not going to complete any quest that did not exist. So for the most part, I'm going to try to make it as authentic to 2007 as possible. So let's just take a moment to talk about exceptions. So I'll really try to do as little exceptions as possible. The only exception that will be acceptable are minor quality of life updates. So just to give two quick examples, here I'm turning the camera angle with my mouse button. So that was not possible back then, but since it doesn't affect the gameplay, I will be using it. Another example would be if I talk to the cook here, I'm able to go through the chat with the spacebar. Before I would have had to click, but since this does not affect the gameplay, I will be using it. And with that out of the way, let's start everyone's favorite quest, the Cook Assistant. As I'm starting the Cook Assistant quest here, I'll just take a moment and talk about the account. So I think it will be a lot of fun to play this account because when Old School RuneScape was released, there was actually no Iron Man mode. So this is really going to be a first because I'll really need to go and figure out like the metas for each kills and the way I'm going to go around to max this account eventually. So I think that's going to be nice. There's just so many changes that occurred in the game since 2007. So like from the gear I'll be wearing to the scaling methods I'll be using. So I think it will be interesting to figure out how I will be playing this account. A big difference between 2007 and now is how skills were a lot slower back then and how bosses and monsters dropped almost no resources. Just to give a few examples, if I need presence on this account, I will need to mine them, compared to obtaining thousands easily from various boss drops. Same goes for really logs or fish and even flax. I actually need to pick a lot of flaxes on this account. There's also a lot of new items that came out since 2007. So I'll just put a picture on screen of my best in slot in 2007, but that's going to be my best melee gear. As you see, it's quite a bit different from the main game. And with that said, here is the end to everyone's favorite quest with level 4 cooking. Nice. So I just banked my stuff here. Now I'm going to go and do the sheep shearer quest. So now you may be thinking, what's the point of this account? So the point is really just to have some fun, play the game as it was back in 2013, and go on a bit of a nostalgia trip. So if I think long term, I want to max this account. So I want to get every skills to level 99. And also 1 year after this account creation, in October 2024, the God War Dungeon is going to release, and I'm going to go in there with my items from 2007 and obtain every drops from the God War Dungeon bosses. That's pretty much it. There's really just so many things that I could go over that came out since 2007 that would affect this account. Like a lot of skills are just going to be so much slower, especially like herb lore, farming, room crafting. There's also some updates that's going to give me a bit more trouble to go around them, like just so much updates to Slayer, for example, or Clue Scrolls. So what I will do is, as I get to those skills or those activities, I will talk about them and explain how I will go around them. And with that said, here is already our second quest complete. And level 3 crafting. So that's pretty much everything I had to say about this account for its rule and how I will be playing it. I will basically be playing it as authentic to 2007 as possible. So please come and join me on this nostalgic journey as I start Ernest the Chicken. Ernest the Chicken, so a nice 200 coins and 4 quest points. So here is Witch Potion with 4 magic. And here is the Restless Ghost with level 9 prayer. So here is Rune Mysteries, another quest point. So here's Pirate Treasure Quest. If I open this, I get an emerald and quite a few coins. So here's the Goblin Diplomacy Quest, a nice 5 quest points, 200 crafting experience, which gets me to 5 crafting and a gold bar. So here is Romeo and Juliet with 5 more quest points. And here is Prince Ali Rescue, 3 quest points, 700 coins. So here I got my first Molly event for 3 emerald. And it's pretty nice. I can pass the gate for free now that I've passed the Ali Rescue quest. So I've completed quite a few F2P quests. Most of the one I can complete without food or without gaining any levels first. So what I was thinking now is that I'm in pretty big need of food. So I was gonna get to Ardung and there I'll steal some cakes for food. So that's gonna be my main food for a little while. The only issue is that in 2007 there was no lever in Edgeville that would get you to Wilderness and then to Ardung. So because of that, I will need to get the boat to Brimhaven and then from there get to Ardung. So I'll see you then in a minute. Okay, so here I am. So this wasn't much trouble at all, honestly, and it did not cost much. So here I do not have 5 thieving yet, so I'm gonna go and thieve some main until I have the thieving level for this. So I just noticed for the first time while thieving that I get some XP drops. So that obviously wasn't the case in 2007. I need to figure out how to get this removed out of there. I've been playing for a few hours, but first time I realized that, so I'm gonna remove it. So that's a lot better. It's really weird not being able to see my actual HP like I'm used to. So I just need to check on the skill tab. Gonna get used to it, but it's cool. So here is level 5 thieving. I'm ready to go pickpocket some cakes. So here is level 20 thieving. So I'll go check how many cakes and bread I've I got few hundreds, I think, maybe close to 200 cakes. I'll check. Should have enough for a while. And also, while I'm doing thieving, I realized that I had this turned on to zoom in and out, and I know that this was not out in 2007, so I did decide to lock it right around the middle, which is where I think it was in the past. So I'll leave it here. I can no longer zoom in and out, just as it was back then. 172 cakes and 64 bread. So I should be good for quite a while. Not sure if I'll even need to get any more later. I'll probably do some fishing by the time I'm out. So very best. So now that I got food, let's go get my free 10k from the stronghold of security. That's a bit unfortunate, but I'm having trouble setting up my authenticator on my account for some reason. So because of that, I'm not able to get the money from the chest. So I suppose I'll set up the authenticator later and I'll access the chest at a later date. So that's too bad because my goal was to get the 10k and then I would go in and get some mine rune to train some magic. But unfortunately, because of this issue, I just have 1.5k. So let's go see what I can buy. And while I'm here, this is another change here. Those did not exist in 2007. So I need to go and buy the actual stack here. So those are three each. I will buy an air staff. Actually, I do not even have enough money for an air staff. Change of plane. So here I am in the wilderness. So first I'm just gonna grab a second iron bar here. So the reason I grabbed those, and I'm pretty sure I just need one actually, but I grabbed those for the Night Sword quest, which will get me to almost 20 smithing in one quest from level 1. And the main reason I'm here, I just grabbed those while I was walking back, is because of steel plate legs. So there should be a steel plate leg spawn in here. So I hopped world, and oh, there they are. I'm not sure if I missed them or if they were just not there in the other world. So this is how I'm going to be making some money. I'm going to fill the rest of my inventory with steel plate legs just by changing worlds. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I got a few steel plate legs here. I was surprised how many worlds were actually empty. So whoa, watch out for the dragon. So I did keep just a few food just in case I need them. But I'm gonna go and sell those steel plate legs to the Varrock shop. Okay, so I think I should be able to get more GP for them here. The general store will get 400, and here I would get. I cannot sell those here. Okay, so I'm not sure why I thought they were buying them at the Varrock shop, but here they should be buying and selling them. That's a lot better. 650. If I sell one, then the second one is 640, then 630, and 620. I'll sell four per world, and let's see how much I get. So here is my last world. I'm just gonna sell the rest for a total of almost 15k. So that's pretty good. Let's head back to the rune shop. Okay, so give me one fire staff and one air staff. So I'll have over 10k still. Just got a nice sapphire from a random event. And now let's go and buy some runes. So, pretty sure the buy 50 option was not a thing. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be using it in the future or not. I may. I'll see. So for now, I'll just use the buy 10. And okay, so I bought 1,000 mine rune and 1,000 air runes. I'm ready to go and train magic. Not really sure where I'm going to go and use those yet. Do a bit of thinking and I'll be right back. So I really don't think this is worth it, but I'm gonna go and train on some cows for now, and I'll actually bang the cow hides. Also, isn't it just so old school to just airstrike some cows like that? Okay, so here's level 13 magic, which gives me the fire strike. So with that, I'm ready to go and do some more quests. Thought I was recording, but I was not. But I just finished the Witch House, which got me to 25 hit point. So I'm gonna feel a lot safer now walking around with that kind of HP. Pretty cool. And here is Waterfall Quest. And with that, I get 30 attack and 30 strength. So that's an incredible boost. I know everyone does that at the beginning of their account, but it's just the best. Saves a lot of time. Up to the next thing. So I just burn a few normal logs on the top of Lumbridge Castle for 20 fire making. So here is the Vampire Slayer quest and 32 attack. So here's the Night Fortress. I get a nice 2.5k from that. So I fixed my problem with my authenticator, so I think I should be able to loot the chest now. Let's try it. So here's the first chest, and it works. Perfect. Chest number 2. And here's the last chest since I don't need the boots from the fourth one. For a nice 17k, pretty cool. Here's the Shield of Arav for another 1600 coins. So here is Demon Slayer with 39 quest points. So I got a surprise exam event. Suppose I'll use that on prayer for one prayer level. Here is Monk's Friend with 2000 woodcutting experience, getting me to level 13. Now I got 30 fire making for the Sea Slug quest, and also there's a lot of imps passing by here, so I killed them and I obtained all beads for the quest at the tower. I had to AFK a bit longer, so here's 30 woodcutting. And 35 fire making. And here's the Sea Slug, which gets me from level 1 to 24 fishing. As I'm walking to the fight arena here to do the quest, I notice that I'm not even on fixed mode. So I'm playing on two accounts at the same time on Runelight. And it seems like sometime when I log out and reload the client, for some reason, it messes with my in-game settings. So I would think this would be account specific, but I guess it isn't. So that's a lot better. I'll try to keep that in mind and I'll try to find a way that it doesn't mess with my setting when I reload Runelight. Alright, all set to go. So here's the fight arena, which gets me 38 attack and 23 thieving. Nice. So I decided to do a bit of agility, got level 25. So I'm doing the grain tree quest and I've been running out of runes, so I've been buying a few here. Those La rune I got from the monk quest are pretty useful right now. I can teleport to Varrock at any time, so it's going good. And would you look at that? We just got a maid. I just got one actually just not long ago. I got those few items here. I'm gonna do another one. Here's the grain tree quest with 18k attack experience and some agility experience. So 31 agility, pretty cool. And 44 attack already with 29 magic. So I just finished the Imp Catcher quest, which got me to 30 magic and also got me a nice amulet. Here is Druidic Ritual with 4 quest points and level 3 Herblore. Here's the recruitment drive, which gets me to 14 prayer, 10 herb lore, 32 agility, and also it did give me 3000 GP, but it did not give that reward in 2007. So because of that, I will unfortunately need to drop those coins. Here is the dwarf cannon with 10 crafting. Here's fishing contest with 26 fishing. And here's the murder mystery for a nice 15 crafting and 2k. 10 fletching while I had to AFK. Here is Martin Crystal with 6 more quest points. And here is probably one of my favorite quests to complete on a new account, so Holy Grail, which gets me from 1 to 29 prayer and 1 to 31 defense. Pretty awesome. And here's a quick quest for some thieving experience, tribal totem and 25 thieving. So now I have completed the quiz in the Varrock Museum, which gets me from 1 to 9 Slayer and 1 to 9 Hunter. So while I was here, I was thinking I may as well buy my first house. So I now have a player-owned house in Remington. I just got a nice Jenny. Guess I'll put that on prayer, which gets me to 30 prayer. I'm unfortunately going to use my last Laroon here. And here's the Enter the Abyss mini quest, which got me from level 1 to 9 rune crafting. And here's the dig site quest, which gets me from 5 to 31 mining and up to 17 herb lore. Here's a quick quest, a direct quest for 1 mining level. So here was Gertrude Cat quest for 13 cocaine. I have 3 try to make this pie, so please don't burn. Okay. Second try. Okay. And third try, please. Yes. Perfect. I'm ready to do the Night Sword quest. And here's the Night Sword quest, which gets me to 29 smithing. So we've been doing pretty good progress by questing with the total level and the quest points, but those quests are taking quite a bit longer than they should without proper teleportation. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to set my first small medium goal here, and it's unlocking some teleportation, which is basically I want to unlock fairy rings, and I also want to unlock some spells. So I already have the magic level for Varrock teleport. I want to unlock Lumbridge, Falador, my house, and Camelot. So I need 45 magic, and when I get 45 magic, I need some Laroon. So that means I need some gold. So the first goal before this is actually to make some GP, which I'm going to be using thieving for. And I will need 45 thieving for the method I want to make GP with. And also the feud quest. So I'm going to start by doing the feud, get 45 thieving, get some gold. Once I got some gold, get 45 magic, buy some Laroon, and then I'll be ready to go and unlock fairings. So here's 30 thieving, which is a requirement for the feud quest. 341 cakes. The nice thing about this quest is that I guess I could call him a boss that I just killed actually dropped an adamant scimitar. So that's gonna be nice until I get a rune one. So here's the feud quest, which gets me from 30 to 37 thieving, and it's the requirement for blackjacking. So I just did a rogue trader mini quest, so now I'm gonna sell my willow blackjack and I'll buy a maple defense. Okay, so here is 45 thieving. So I'm all set to go blackjacking. So with that said, let's go make some money. Okay, so here I am in Polvinich. So the way I'm gonna do that is there is a shop here. I can buy some wines. So I'll buy a few, well, a full little inventory of wine. Okay, so once I got all my food. So I got the air rune here I don't need. So I just need to find the bandit. I'm gonna attack it and bring it in that room here. So I'm not gonna go into too many detail into how blackjacking works, but basically I got the bandit in here with the curtain closed. I can go up and back down if ever he gets aggressive. The way it works is that I need to knock him out once and then pickpocket twice once he's knocked out. As you see, it is possible that I miss when I knock him out, but when I'm successful, I can go and pickpocket him twice if I'm fast enough like this. This is how I'm gonna make my GP. So let's start. I'll be here for a little while. Well, I was just there for like 10 minutes and I died already. So I think it may be a good time to just go over the debt mechanics. So there has been a lot of changes to debt since 2007. It was a lot harsher back then. So now in the main game, when you die, you appear in the debt's office and you're able to retrieve your items from debt for a certain cost. Or if you would prefer, you could go and run to your gravestone where you died and obtain your item for free or for a lower cost. So in the main game, there's pretty much no more risk to dying. Worst case scenario, you're going to lose a few hundred K to retrieve your items. But that was a lot different in 2007. In 2007, when you would die, all of your items, except for the 3 most valuable items you are carrying, or 4 if you had the protect item prayer activated, would drop on the ground and be seen by everyone immediately. And the items would stay on the ground for 2 minutes before disappearing if no one picks them up. So these are the dead mechanics I will be following on this account, so I'll just give a quick explanation on how I will follow those rules whenever I die. So first, in 2007, you could only respawn in 3 locations, so either Lumbridge, Falador, or Camelot. And then when I die, I will appear at the Dead's office at one of those 3 respawn points with my best 3 items or 4 items with the Protect Item Prayer. From there, there's really 2 scenarios. If I was in the populated area, I will just lose all of the items that I did not keep. And that's just because I will assume that in 2007, someone will have just picked up my items on the ground. However, if I die in an extremely remote area, I will give myself 2 minutes to run back to my items from my respawn points. And the reason I give myself 2 minutes is because in 2007, that's how long the items will have been kept on the ground before disappearing. So now there's one last catch. In 2007, the 3 to 4 items you would keep would not depend on their market value since there was no grain exchange. They would depend on their high alchemy value. So just for an example, if you had a nice abyssal whip that you could sell to anyone for 1.5 million, and you had a dragon battle axe that you could sell for around 175,000, you would keep the dragon battle axe over the abyssal whip. And the reason for that is because the abyssal whip can be high alchemied for 72k, while the dragon battle axe can be a high alchemied for 150k. So because of that, whenever I die, I will need to verify which 3 items I would have kept by high alchemy value in 2007. If they're not the same items I kept when dying, I will run back to my gravestone, get the items I would have kept in 2007, and drop the rest. So that was a bit of a ramble here, but I think it was important to go over since debt is quite an important mechanic and it changed a lot since 2007. As you see, it was quite harsh in 2007. Basically, to put it simple, pretty much every time I die, I will only keep 3 to 4 items. The rest will be lost. I will not use the remote rule too often. I will really need to be somewhere where there's like really no one. And when that happens, usually it would take more than 2 minutes to get there. So, yep, in most cases, if I die, I lose my items. So all that to say that I will be losing my items with this debt. I wouldn't consider this place to be remote enough. I've seen some people walk around when I was doing some thieving, and either way, it did take me just over 2 minutes to run here. So because of that, I will show you a clip here, my item just disappearing on the ground, and then saying goodbye to my 20k cash tag. It's really not a big deal. It maybe takes half an hour to get that back. So with that said, I lost about 20k, which is unfortunate, but really not the end of the world. So I'll go and start thieving, making more GP. I'll make that back quite quickly. But for this episode, I think that's going to be it. I think it's going to be long enough by now. So basically, nothing crazy. We just gain about 500 total, 76 quest points. I'm all ready to blackjack. Hopefully I won't die again. So see everyone in the next episode. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully I'll start the next episode with a nice cash tag.